This video is the answers to the page 386 and 387 homework, Unit 11, Lesson 10, the tangent function. So I'll run through the answers starting with number 2 because you were to omit number 1. So number 2 is option 1. Number 3 is 2. Number 4 is choice 1. Number 5, you'll have to look at the table. Number 6 is option 3. Number 7, A, sine of capital A is 4/5. The tangent of angle A is -4/3. B, cosine of alpha is the square root of 8/3. The tangent of alpha is 1/8. C, the sine of, the cosine of theta is -12/13, and the tangent of theta is 5/12. And D, sine of B is -√21/5, and the tangent of B is -20 or square root of 21/2. Now for an explanation. Just keep in mind here when you're working on these problems that you've got to know that tangent, not only SOHCAHTOA, but tangent of theta is equal to sine over cosine. And also always kind of keep in mind when you're working with quadrantal angles, you always want to be able to draw the unit circle, the 4 points of the unit circle, some degree measures. And write down the coordinates of each of the 4 points. And when we're on the unit circle, the x-coordinate is equal to the cosine of the angle. Let's see. And the y-coordinate is equal to sine of the angle. Okay, so the point lies on the unit circle, so the x-coordinate's the cosine of the angle, the sine is the y-coordinate's the sine of the angle. So if we're looking for tangent, that's going to be sine over cosine. So 0.96 over 0.28 is approximately 3.42857. Option 1. At which of the following angles is a tangent function undefined? Again, the tangent function is going to be undefined when the denominator is 0, right? So when the cosine value is 0, or the x-coordinate is 0, and that occurs at -90 degrees. That would be the same as an angle measure of 270. The x-coordinate is 0. Which of the following is not in the domain of tangent x equals, g of x equals tangent 2x? Well, you'd have to double the angle first. 45 doubled is 90. What is a tangent of 90 degrees? I'm looking at the point on the unit circle at 90 degrees, and the sine value is 1, the cosine is 0. So fortunately, it happens to be the first one. That's going to be undefined. With number 5, you're using your all students take chemistry. All three trig values are positive in 1. It's just sine that is positive in quadrant 2, tangent's positive in 3, and cosine's positive in 4. Number 6, if tangent is greater than 0, meaning positive, and sine is less than 0, negative, then what quadrant are we in? We're in quadrant 3. Number 7, this is where you had some work. And I think, yeah, for all of these, I just drew a diagram of a right triangle in the correct quadrant. So in quadrant 2, I draw a right triangle. Cosine of angle A, so I mark angle A. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the side adjacent, I labeled -3. Hypotenuse 5. The other leg is 4. It's a 3, 4, 5 triple. So then the sine of angle A is opposite over hypotenuse 4/5. The tangent's opposite over adjacent 4 -3rds, or 4 over -3. B, let's see, we're in quadrant 1. I draw the right triangle in quadrant 1, label the angle alpha. Opposite hypotenuse, so opposite is 1, hypotenuse 3. Use Pythagorean theorem to figure out the other leg is square root of 8, right? Take the hypotenuse squared is 9, subtract the leg squared 1, we get 8. So the other leg is the square root of 8. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. And C, we're in quadrant 3, drawing a right triangle in quadrant 3, angle theta. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so the side opposite is 5, hypotenuse 13. The other leg is 12. It's a 5, 12, 13 triple, where again you use Pythagorean theorem to calculate the other leg. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, -12 13ths. Tangent opposite over adjacent. So the -5 over -12 would be 5 12ths. And D, we're in quadrant 4, drawing a right triangle in quadrant 4, labeling angle B. Adjacent, the adjacent side is 2. We need to find the opposite side. So we're simply doing 2 squared plus what squared equals 5 squared. That's 25. Subtract 4 from 25 is 21. So b squared equals 21. So b equals the square root of 21. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so that'd be the square root of 21 over 5. But we're in quadrant 4, so don't forget the negative, right? And tangent is opposite over adjacent, negative square root of 21 over 2. Thank you.